and gentlemen.
Joe, if you're listening, you stupid fuck. He looks like one of those guys that from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone, and he's a shock jock or whatever, and somehow or another he accumulates followers on Twitter. It's fucking pathetic. So please, nobody listen to anything involving a guy named Joe Cronin, because it's just so fucking sad.
What's up, everybody? Hit that like button. We are getting ready to go here.
This is the most mature audiences only shit you've ever heard. Period. From Boston. Broadcasting all over the world. Send the soy boys home. 'Cause we ain't gonna sugarcoat shit.
Drop down, let me give it to you.
This is the Joe Cronin Show. Now, here's Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday night. We continue to ride out the ban that's going on right now as I am unable to go live on YouTube on my main page until next Monday. Therefore, we're going to miss WrestleMania on my main channel, so that's going to kill me. But, you know, hey, what are you going to do? The world isn't fair, and it's been that way for a long time for me. It's been happening to me for years. So here we are tonight. We do not have access to Super Chats here on Corrupted Nation. So because we don't have access to Super Chats, you'll have to use the donation link that I pinned to the top of the chat. If you guys want to support the channel, we're going to be really badly impacted by not being able to go live on JCS, which is probably going to cost me a lot of money and a lot of subscribers and a lot of, stuff that we would have had on JCS. But here we are on Corrupted Nation, one of the backup channels. You can also subscribe to me on Evil Spectrum 3 on YouTube, here on Corrupted Nation, Joe Cronin Show, Star Trek Late Night if you're into Star Trek, where I'll be doing a lot of Star Trek stuff over there, including my podcast and book fan fiction book and podcast, and my reviews of Star Trek PICARD Season 3, plus Shame on News. You can always follow Shame on News on YouTube as well. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everywhere you can find me. You can also find me on iTunes or Spotify, Joe Cronin Show on there. And, of course, the big place where you probably got the alert that I'm live tonight, which, of course, is Patreon. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. That's where you'll get pretty much every alert I post on Patreon emailed to you, which is a huge thing. You should have gotten one tonight, and everybody will get an alert. So, hope you guys are out there listening. Hope you're having a good time. And tonight, we are going to talk about AEW here. We're WrestleMania week. It's a hell of a week. It's a fun time. We got probably some people on Discord at some point going to chime in. I thought it was an all right show tonight. It wasn't great or anything spectacular. But I thought it was, something that was interesting enough. And I'm sure that later I'm going to be watching All Access, and I'll be able to give you my review of that at a later time, and we'll talk about All Access and how that goes and how that went. Episode 1 is on. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be cringy? I will review All Access. So if you don't have the time to watch it now, or you do watch it and you have my opinion, I will give you my opinion on All Access, and I guess I look forward to it, but, there's a part of me that's bitter about all the backstage stuff. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit bitter about the backstage of, I'm starting to feel quite a bit like Jim Cornette, where it's like, man, the wrestling business has been so overexposed at this point, man, that I would rather they just stop exposing the business. But then there's the other part of me, and you know this, guys, that, well, it's more interesting to talk about the backstage stuff than the stuff that's going on actually on the stage. You know what I mean? So I understand why they're doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? Having the backstage show, because it's probably super interesting, and it's probably something that is going to maybe do well because the other stuff isn't doing too well, you know? But it's something that I think will oh my God, Kenny Omega! Come on! All day. Come Louie! I want you to jam it in. Turn on the light! Whoa, it's in your bunghole. Whoa, it's in your bunghole. Oh my God, it's D. Welsh! D. Welsh is saving the shows.
Audio Jungle.
Evening Joe. Gave tonight a fair 5.5 out of 10. Sith Negan. Ghost. Drew Barr. Todd Fair. I'm calling out your bitch asses.
Whoa.
Joe needs support. Y'all have tiny balls.
Wow. You know what, D. Welsh, though? The only problem with that, I think half the guys you just named normally drop donations via Super Chat. And you're not able to use Google Super Chat down below right now. Allison can't donate. And Drew Barr, I think those guys can't even donate because there's no Super Chat. That's normally how they donate. So I don't know. I don't know why some people can't use the PayPal. You can use PayPal or credit card or whatever. I mean, on the thing, but yeah. I don't know, D. Welsh, but I appreciate that plug, bro. There's the link to the Streamlabs if you want to use that. D. Welsh, man, dude, I know you got a promotion, but Jesus, bro, D. Welsh is dropping bombs on this show this week. When stuff gets ugly and bad for me, I will say that D. Welsh steps up like a goddamn donation predator, bro. Thank you, D. Welsh. Holy shit, bro. Let's put Welsh up on the board, guys. That is huge. What did you donate? $104 or something like that? So it was a weird number, D. Welsh. D. Welsh, thank you, bro. D. Welsh dropping the 104. I will put you up top. You are the top donator. I don't think anybody's honestly going to beat that on a Wednesday night here on a backup channel, but at least we're here, man. You know, they've really tried to take me down over the years. They even took out my Twitter. They've taken out my Twitter 3 times. 36,000 Twitter followers, gone. Down to 16,000, that Twitter, gone. Down to 6,000, that Twitter, gone. Down to 2,000, that Twitter, gone. Now I'm back on Twitter again, and guess what? Now I'm verified. It only took Elon Musk to get me verified finally because you can buy it now, and it doesn't matter whether shit. But you know, I do think it buys you some protection as well. So that's the good news on Twitter. We'll see if I ever get my old one back. It might happen eventually, but I have put in a lot of complaints, and maybe we'll get the old one back. Even we're halfway to goal now. We have a lot of fun with the goals, so I'll put it up. Nothing is expected of anybody, by the way. We're here to review AEW, hang around. If you want to donate, you can. You don't have to. You can hit the like button. That'd be cool if you just hit the like button and you watch the show. Not 104, it's 101, D-Wells. I'm retarded. But we're going to get into this, man. First match of the night tonight. What do you think? Oh, shit. Fecal matter coming in from Spectral Citizen. Let's see what he's got to say. Guys, give me a review in the chat. Give me your rating of tonight's show in the chat. I want to see your ratings now in the chat. I got some shit to say, but my fecal matter's on the floor. Fecal matter's on the floor. It's okay, I am a horse. Fecal matter's on the floor. It could be worse on the floor. My fecal matter's on the floor. Fecal matter's on the floor. Fecal matter's on the floor. But it's okay, I am a horse. It's okay, I am a horse. My fecal matter's on the floor. Fucking on the floor.
You shouldn't super chat anyway. Google has enough money. Take care, Joe.
Thank you, Spectral Citizen. And you're right, it is kind of goofy. Listen, I'll take it any way I can. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Spectral Citizen. Even though some people just don't donate using PayPal and using the Streamlabs link, they like to donate using Super Chat. That's just what it is. I don't know why. Allison loves only Super Chat. Some other people also, like Todd Fair, I think he does a lot of Super Chat as well, and other people. And it's true, Google does take 30%, taxes take 20%, so in the end, I only get 50% of it. So if you drop $100, I really only get 50. But if you drop $100 on PayPal, Streamlabs, I get about 89 or 90 something. So it's like, I don't know, man, but it doesn't matter because, $600 to $1,000 a month on Google between ad revenue and Super Chat. So that's pretty good. That's really good, man. Problem is I have $7,000 a month in bills. But we're here to party tonight. It's Wednesday night. And the opening tonight, man, Aubrey looking sexy in the ring as the referee tonight. I didn't notice her too much, but I wasn't looking. Usually I get distracted by Aubrey Edwards there, but not tonight. Jungle Boy out there wrestling Matt Hardy. Love my friend Matt Hardy. We're not really friends, but I mean, we've had good interactions. I love Matt Hardy. I'll always, stand by him. He's a good person. I really wish that he would get a run with the broken stuff in a good way again. I want that to come back. I know that most people are just so over that they couldn't even care, but I just still think that there was juice left in that, and it's weird, man. It's like the broken gimmick was like The Matrix. The first movie was great, and then the next two kind of went pfft. And I guess you could argue about the fourth movie. I like the fourth movie. I think it's a wonderful commentary on meta shit and is fucking confusing to people, and I that's why I enjoy it. I think it's actually kind of brilliant and like kind of a big fuck you to the studio, too, and just everybody. I really like what Lana Wachowski did at that point. Thank you to D. Welsh for the $101, and thank you to Spectral Citizen for the $20. Jungle Boy, Matt Hardy go out and they do what they can. And it is what it is. I'm probably hovering around a 6.5 out of 10 for tonight's show. Sloth fan in the chat says, Young Bucks backed down by saying we don't want to talk about the brawl. That's why people tuned into this show. Yeah, they're not going to talk about the brawl. That's the whole point of the All Access show. Like, that's what everybody was like, well, if you're not going to put that on All Access, then what the hell is it? You know what I mean? What's the point? It just to me doesn't make sense. If you're not going to do that, it's stupid. We're going to talk about Jon Moxley, too, and his weird comments and weird stuff that I've seen from him. I posted it on my new Twitter account, by the way, if you want to see it, at MetaWorldOnline. Is that my Twitter? At MetaWorldOnline. I don't even know what it is anymore. Somebody else owned that, and they gave it to me. They gave me their Twitter, basically. And so I'm on there. But you can follow me over there. I have a minuscule 125 followers over there. But I did get some clips of Jon Moxley the other day. I think I saved them, and they're out there, man. Some of the stuff that he says is fucking out there. Oh yeah, here's one of them.
Oh, like Marina Shafir, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So much potential there.
Yeah.
So much untapped potential.
You know me. Yes, you.
Anybody else think he has sex with Marina Shafir? So much untapped potential.
You do.
She's such a natural at so much of it.
What are we trying to chase?
You know me.
Part of the problem.
I see her wrestling different than everybody, looking, talking, acting different than everybody.
You don't know me. You don't know me. You don't know nothing about
She kind of sounds like Courtney Love or something. Like, this is a great this would be a great grunge song. You don't know me. You don't know me. Like, it's like a grunge song. It'd be great.
The
Go
fact
back
that
and
you
get
were
that.
barefoot drew my eyes to your feet, and it made me notice how good your footwork was.
Oh.
Wow. Did you see that, guys? John Moxley noticed how good her footwork was.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, let's see it. Look at this. Let's see this great footwork. Whoa. Heaven is a place on earth. They say in heaven, love comes first. Who ain't heaven? Oh, whoops. Whoa. My God. Oh, look at this. Whoop. Whoop. Eat. Oh. Oh. Eat. Ah. Oh, wait. What? Oh. Eat. Oh. Ah. Slippery doodah. What's this move gonna be? Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Ooh. Oh. Ah. Whoops. I think you guys get the point. There's about, you could just, oh, look at that. Oh, look at the footwork. She is amazing with her feet. Look at this. Wow, look at that. Oh, look out. What was that? Oh. Oh. So, yeah, John Moxley is full of shit, just like CM Punk and everybody else in the company and every wrestling company there is. I'm not going to get a job. I don't care. Fuck these people. You suck. So the best thing of the night for me was probably MJF, I guess, promo. Because anytime MJF is speaking, I'm enjoying myself quite a bit. Good guy.
Are you being rewarded with all that much TV time?
Now, MJF cut a mediocre MJF promo tonight. I actually enjoyed their exchange more, their fighting exchange, when they started fighting each other. She was trained by Steven Seagal, says Jedi Knight. Is that true? I mean, I'd believe that, pretty much at this point. So if that's the case, I believe it. Steven Seagal. Oh, man. That was not good. Like, it was, that was rough to watch. And there's other stuff from Moxley, too, that gets me. What up, Ben's View? How you doing, my friend? What is that? What's that? Somebody on Twitter said they did something, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Not talking about her wrestling ability, but the fact that he's talking about her laughing my ass off. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what he's talking about, there, as far as Moxley goes. Not 100% sure on that. But yeah, so Jungle Boy's exchange with MJF was pretty good. It was all right. You know what my other thing of the night that I enjoyed was when Don West, no, not Don, Jesus, Don West, rest in peace, but when Don Callis was waffled in the back of the head by Moxley in the Blackpool Combat Club. I thought that was great. The Blackpool Combat Club's out there beating the piss out of everybody. They started early. I think they had 3 or 4 attacks tonight. Whatever, and the women were attacking people too.
Jeff Cobb, you want a piece of this?
Kenny Omega has something with Jeff Cobb that I don't care about whatsoever, but whatever, that's what's happening. So Jeff Cobb comes out, and Kenny Omega and Jeff Cobb have a wrestling match that I'll never remember again. It is what it is. Glad to see Kenny out there, but don't really care too much about this. It was all right. Didn't have a ton of time, but they got their stuff on. But really, it just led to the point of, Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson coming out, and then, the Blackpool Combat Club once again jumping somebody. They jumped Kenny Omega, and they beat the shit out of Kenny Omega. They also jumped Adam Hangman Page in the back.
That's right. I am truly sorry. Why would I want to get between you and Kenny? You're a great talent. Just want to say welcome, and I want to honestly say I sincerely apologize. I really do.
I don't think the microphone was on either at this point. I was like, why does the mic sound like that? So they attack Adam Page. Apparently he likes BBC as well. And the way they attacked Callis was awesome. And Callis got busted wide open, too. He got I mean, what the hell is this, bro? Don Callis looking like Moxley. He got waffled.
Friends, I think that
nice.
Don Callis.
I think Don thought that he was going to be buddies with Mox.
And what does this mean for Don Callis? Is he going to be able to be in Kenny's corner later on tonight? We have to take a break. We got more Dynamite still to come. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I actually really enjoyed that shot. When they cut over and then you see Don Callis is bleeding everywhere. It added a lot. That added some good stuff, I thought. So I liked that. He looked gruesome. And they didn't, like, focus on it crazily. It was just kind of like almost an afterthought as they were going to commercial, which made it seem more believable. So I liked that. So that was pretty good. You know, the Blackpool Combat Club's coming out and beating the shit out of people. Orange Cassidy comes out with his fucking weird 900th AEW title that exists, and he wrestles, and I don't care because he's facing the Butcher. It was like weird. It's like weird that we had, Don Callis. I mean, weird that we had Matt Hardy facing off against Jungle Boy at the beginning. Then it's weird Orange Cassidy is wrestling the Butcher. I don't know why that is, but whatever. It's okay, I guess, and we're just kind of floating by on a casual night of AEW. The women come out. They have a wrestling match. Ruby Soho versus Rainbow Big or whatever her name is. I don't know. I don't remember her name. And then the women all just come out, whatever they're called. What are they called? The Rejects? Or I don't even remember these names anymore. There's so many stable names that have come and gone so far. Like, you might as well call them, like, whatever Bailey's group is called in WWE. I just don't remember their fucking name anymore. And that's not their fault. It's my fault. I just don't care. I don't remember what are they called? The Angry or the Next group or the DX Green? I don't know what they're called anymore. I forget. Someone tell me. The NW Ho. I mean, that's what I call them. But anyway, they come out and they beat the shit out of people again. And so we get, like, another group beating the shit out of people. So the Blackpool Combat Club is going, the Outcasts, there you go. PMS, I don't know. So then you get all these people are coming out and beating the shit out of people all night. The Blackpool Combat Club is beating everybody. They're a group of 4 or 5 people, and they're coming out and beating the shit out of everybody all night. And then the Outcasts come out and they beat the shit out of people. And then the champion Hemingway or whatever her name is runs out and with Riho. Again. So we saw, like, just a lot of repeat stuff tonight. Blackpool Combat Club beats people up. Again. The Outcasts beat the same women up. Again. Like, it was a lot of repeat stuff for me that was like, okay, we've already seen it. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I will be live from my regular channel next week. I'll be back on Joe Cronin Show next week. I can't stream from there for a week. When you get a strike, it takes about a week for it to go away. So unless it gets fixed, it actually might get fixed. We'll see. I've complained. I usually, I email them and I fix it, but we'll see if it gets fixed. But if not, WrestleMania is going to be covered over here. So go figure on the week that it's the most important week of the year. I have to stream over here. Sorry to keep repeating that, but people keep asking me what the fuck is going on. That's what's going on. That's why we're on my backup channel. So that's what happens. You got to come over here. So if you want to donate to the show tonight, that would help because I'm going to be fucking screwed. We're going to lose out on hundreds of subs, thousands of subs maybe, and money because this channel is not monetized whatsoever. Don't have Super Chat here. So the only way to support the channel is by becoming a patron, sending me money on paypal.me/Joe Cronin Show, or using the Streamlabs link up top there. There you go. So we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, another repeat, like, group gang attack. So I was just like, all right, more of this gang attack stuff. And then the big celebration for Adam Cole returning, coming out dressed as one of the Paul brothers or whatever he did. But yeah, Adam Cole coming out, his return. It was very reminiscent of, like, almost like a Bret the Hitman Hart thing. I almost get a feeling of that from Adam Cole at this point. That he's kind of like a Bret the Hitman Hart face a little bit. I don't know. That's just me. Yeah, Adam Page said BBC. Yeah, we talked about that already, actually. So, The main event was all right. I think some people didn't find it that fascinating, but you know, it was nice enough, I thought, for him because, you know, to kind of celebrate coming back. I mean, the guy, he hasn't wrestled in what, a year? How long has it been since we've seen Adam Cole? It's about a year, right? So I mean, I thought this was, I understood kind of the celebration, and I thought it was nice to kind of like give him something cool for coming back. I mean, he suffered a really bad, I have spread the word, Rostava. He suffered a really pretty bad concussion, you know? So it's one of those things where I understand why they did this. Or why they, you know, were kind of, I don't know, honoring him or whatever. They were, why they were celebrating him being back. I thought that was fairly understandable, but a lot of people were like, why are they using confetti? Why do they need to do all this pomp and circumstance for Adam Cole? And I thought it was I thought it was okay. I thought it was deserved. I got it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, if you want to say something, use the Streamlabs link up top, pinned to the top of the chat right now if you want to donate and say something. All right, so there's Adam Cole. You're good. Hey, all right, Adam Cole dressed like one of the Paul brothers. Jericho, obviously. It looks like we're going to get some kind of Jericho-Adam Cole rivalry coming, or some kind of, you know, match with them going on. That's okay. You know, I thought tonight, again, like I said, I think I was around a 6 out of 10. I think that's how I feel about tonight. Thank you to D. Welsh for the 101 big drop. I don't think that that's going to be competed with tonight, especially since Allison can't super chat on here. But thank you. Oh, shit!
Somewhere after midnight, in my wildest fantasy, somewhere just beyond my reach, someone reaching back for me, racing on the thunder, rising with the heat. It's gonna take a Superman to sweep me off my feet. It's the Soundwave 92. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night, and he's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast. He's gotta be fresh from the fight. I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the morning light, and he's gotta be sure. He's gotta be sure.
The Soundwave 92.
Larger than life. I need a hero.
Larger down there, baby.
Tonight wasn't clicking for me, but I love the setup for the BCC versus the Elite at Blood and Guts. Claudio looked like a goof with Don's glasses on, but Don actually got busted open after that segment. Also, Jericho versus Cole feud I am not interested in. Sick.
You know, I'm not that interested in it, but it might be something that could be okay for an opener of a pay-per-view or a Dynamite or something like that. So I'm okay with it, but it's just I don't like the way they set it up, but I don't know. That's just me. The Soundwave 92 tonight wasn't clicking. It was kind of all over the place. I didn't think tonight was very synced. I didn't like I wasn't feeling it the way that, you know, you want to feel it. That's what she said. I just wasn't into it. Like you said, it was a somewhere between probably a 5 or a 6.5 out of 10 show. I don't think it was any better than that. But you know, it is what it is. It was what it was, and I thought it was all right enough. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody who's here, guys. Make sure you subscribe if you're new or you didn't know I had this channel. There's actually lots of history on this channel from years ago and from years when we used to do monetize this over here, when I used to have strikes in the past and I had to go live over here. This channel is kind of legendary, so check it out. It's got tons of stuff on it. Also, subscribe to Evil Spectrum 3. That's my other channel with all my other stuff where I might go live from. And that does have Super Chat over there on Evil Spectrum 3, the number 3. And become a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show if you guys want all that bonus content over there on Patreon and you want to really try to support there. Thank you. And thank you, D. Welsh. The card was a bit weak. Yeah, Em, it was a bit weak tonight. How you doing, Pisharo? And thank you for D. Welsh's drop. And Soundwave 92, my friend Soundwave, thank you for the big 40. The big $40 drop. There's tons of different dono amounts. They're listed on the JCS channel. I don't think I've listed them on this channel yet the right way. I'll try to fix that for you guys. But let's continue with the donations and hear what you guys have to say, man. Interested in hearing it.
You raised a piece of shit!
Hey, what up?
What up?
I have a question. Are you gonna be doing a WrestleMania prediction show before Saturday?
Yes.
Also, anyone can answer this question, but what kinds of drugs/alcohol are y'all planning on doing, and will it be different for night 1 compared to night 2?
Muammar Gaddafi. Thank you for the donation. I know for myself, I used to get hammered on WrestleMania weekend usually, or at least I would, have some drinks. I've really been sober for a while. So, I don't, it's not really a big deal. So, I probably will be sober, to be honest. I probably will be sober, to be quite honest. So, yeah, I'll be sober. I think. Oh, this tastes good, brother. It tastes like fucking urine piss. It looks like piss, doesn't it? This vitamin mix, it looks like piss. Whew, smoke weed about it. Now, even smoking weed, could fuck me up, you know what I mean? Like, smoking weed even could just jack me up. Because I'd get that paranoid feeling and all nutty and stuff like that, So I'm afraid to do that as well. I wouldn't want to touch that. Why the hell did they change it? They didn't change it, Allison. I just don't have super chats on this channel. Allison, if you want to donate, you can use this link. It's really like the same thing, I think, unless you have trouble with it. There's the donation link, Allison. If you want to use that, you can use that. I just don't have access to super chats on this channel. I'll probably go live from Evil Spectrum 3 potentially tomorrow, Allison, and you can do it on there. So you'll be able to do it again once I go live on there. So there you go. If you want to support my other channel, you can go to my last couple of videos and you can super thanks it if you want. And I'll read those. If you do that, if you really can't do it any other way. But yeah, so I'm probably going to give tonight a 6 out of 10. And I am going to, like I said, I'm going to watch All Access, and I'm going to see what I think about All Access. And I'll let you know what I think about it when I hear it. And I also want to quickly plug Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 7 tonight. So if you are getting ready for that at 3 a.m. on the East Coast, midnight on the West Coast, enjoy that. I want to promote that as much as I can. It's finally pretty good. I love it, actually. You're going to friggin' love it, and that's why I like to plug it. I like to plug it a shitload because I think it just gets better and better as it continues on. And the soundtrack to Star Trek Picard Season 3 is fucking fire, and it's out now. It's fucking out now. It's amazing. That being said, I'm going to go over to Discord in a second, and we're gonna get the opinions of Mustafa and everybody else about what they thought about tonight's AEW Dynamite, and we'll go into it with each other again. But there's, from beginning to end, my basic coverage of what I thought about it. I did like Jungle Boy and MJF's chemistry. I don't think the greatest promos were cut there, but my favorite part was listening to MJF. My second favorite part was seeing Don Callis get busted open. And probably the third best thing for me was watching Adam Cole come back, I guess. But for me, it was a bit of a subpar show. I'm still going to give it a thumbs up. I just don't think it was not the best thing. Mustafa is reporting that he's not digging All Access. All Access is even worse than Roads to the Top, says Brian Roger. Whoa. That's not good. That's not good. Alexa, stop. Why the fuck did Alexa come on? Alexa, go fuck yourself. What the fuck? Oh my God, that's weird. Okay. All right. Alexa, shields up.
Happy to help. If you want me to start guarding your home, you can say, Alexa, set up guard.
What the fuck? Alexa will just enact an emergency situation. I love Alexa, man. She's full of Star Trek references as Alexa. That's why I love Alexa so much. Muammar Gaddafi, thank you for the donation. So we got D. Welsh coming in at 101, Spectral Citizen 20, Soundwave 92 at 40, and Gaddafi at 316. Thank you. Hell yeah. We're almost at our goal. 78% to goal. That's fucking crazy. We haven't even been on the air for like 30 minutes, I think. Let's go over to Discord and see what's up. Let's go over to Discord. We'll check out Mustafa. I think Jay Menace is in there. 37 minutes in, guys. Hit the like button. We can get to 69 likes. That's all I want to do. Just hit 69 likes. That's all that matters to me because I'm a sick person. What's up, Mustafa? So All Access is cheesy bullshit. You think I'm going to hate it?
Honestly, and I'm just looking at this because I'm like paying attention to this. I'm also paying attention to like another thing that's going on. I think there's like some type of like a New Japan thing that I'm like trying to like get at. But other than that,
fuck that.
Yeah,
I'm
watching All Access, and it's really just
fluff.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, I understand that they're trying to bring another aspect, but all you're doing is, and again, kayfabe's already dead, but you're breaking it even further with this, and also the fact that you're not even going to bring up what actually happened with Punk and various other situations over the past couple of months.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're supposed to be behind the scenes, but you won't play the good stuff.
Well, again, it's no different from WWE when a shoot situation happened, and you're only going to go so far into it. I mean, same thing happened, with Paige and stuff like that. And again, you don't have to go full board, but at least enough to say, yeah, this actually, we acknowledge this. And unfortunately, I think this is mainly from a legality standpoint, because let's just say, for example, AEW said something and then CM Punk got butthurt.
No, it's 100%. They can't talk about it because they literally do have a legal situation. They cannot talk about it. But knowing that makes this just suck. That's what it is.
Yeah, and again, if you know you're going to do a show like this, then don't bring that subject up if that's the thing. And notwithstanding the fact that this was kind of rumored that this was going to be slightly talked about like before this even aired, so that idea, I mean, again, it just already added more salt to the wound anyway. But it is what it is.
There's all my channels in the chat for anybody that really wants to check them out. If you're into that sort of thing, feel free to do it. Jay Menace, if you're here, you can feel free to give me your little thoughts on. Did you watch Dynamite, or did you? Are you watching? What about All Access? Did you watch any of that, or no? I mean, I'm not watching all.
I can't watch professional wrestling right now. All of this shit makes me cringe.
Wow.
Unfortunately, so I tune into you. It's been like that since 2017 for me.
I get it.
But I tune into you, and I appreciate you and Mustafa's opinion. That's why I'm even here, just kind of here pretty much for support. But I did want to ask if I did have a question. My question would be for this show. If you guys did watch, I'm sure Joe did. Was this good counter programming, knowing that for AEW this is the week of WrestleMania for the WWE? Like, was this a good show if people are in that wrestling mood, wanted to tune into something and just get a casual fan? Was this a good show?
As for a casual fan, I mean, if you're just strumming through the channels and you've maybe heard of AEW, you checked it out, and you're going to WrestleMania weekend, again, you can't compare WWE and AEW as far as programming goes. Yes, wrestling, but they're two completely different, shows. And it was, I mean, again, I gave it a passing grade. I gave it a 6.5. But at the same time, knowing that it's WrestleMania weekend, it's just WWE and AEW are like, night and day completely different companies. So
yeah,
I agree. And I wanted to say that I could tell that just by y'all talking about CM Punk as soon as you got on the call that this show couldn't have been that good. I'm sorry. Like without even watching it, I can just assume that was the case.
I think we're talking about him because there's this show coming on after AEW, which is called All Access, and it's supposed to be this big behind-the-scenes type of show, and they can't even talk about the Punk situation, and the show isn't really that good, seemingly. So the only interesting thing you'd want to hear about is that, and they can't talk about it. So what the hell's the point in the show, really, you know?
Yeah. And the other thing is
there's actual legal stuff going on there?
There is.
Like,
they can't.
That's the only indication of that then, right?
You're right. No, they cannot talk. They really can't talk about it. So it's like I'm not real. It's weird. It's like I'm complaining and it's annoying, but I don't really blame them for it because I know they can't talk about it. So it's one of those things where it's like I understand rationally they can't do this, but I'm still pissed off over it. And you would think that they would realize that, so they would try to spice the show up. But what I'm getting is reports that it's not even that good, that fucking Total Divas is better. You know, like, I mean...
Oh, I was even told even before this that the Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes show that happened a few years ago was even better than this. And I was just like, well, this is probably not too far of a stretch. But then I'm watching this, and it's only been like 20, 40 minutes or whatever, and I'm bored to tears.
That's not good. Frankly. That is not good.
I mean, again, there's some nice moments, like, with, wrestlers, saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? Or like, talking about stuff. But it's like, the thing is, it's like, and forgive me for saying this, Joe, but like being a traditionalist, I will say, heels with heels, baby faces with baby faces sound like Bill Watts, which is sad. But you especially if you're a casual fan and you sell this as a shoot, then you want to separate both entities. But again, people pretty much know that wrestling is predetermined at this point. So,
well, yeah, very good. No,
don't
but
appreciate
the first ever. The first ever
is here, and he's just looking into the camera aimlessly. I'm very uncomfortable right now. Can you help me?
Yeah, no, we're gonna go ahead and mute him until that background.
Wait. Your hair looks like Seth Rollins's. You got put the blonde streaks in there. Are you trying to cosplay?
Bro, we already, his hair looks like Seth Rollins. Yes, it does.
All right, let's see if we can hear him. Hey, Pisharo, you there?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good. No, not really.
No. What's wrong? What's happening?
It's starting already.
Did the Antifa rally go south?
I never got my hair done.
Oh, how did the Antifa rally go?
Charles, the thought of you not being able to get a woman to come to your house willingly does not surprise me.
Because they all so damn Hollywood. They never answer anything.
They Hollywood?
Yeah, they Hollywood. They always somehow busy all the time.
What? They Hollywood.
Yeah, they're so Hollywood. They're busy all the time. They don't want to answer anything. They're always
they got
busy.
exclusive contracts with somebody else's. You know what?
Yeah, like the women that work in the same place you work. They're that busy. Yeah, for sure.
Even when they're home, like they're busy at the house. Like they never want to.
Oh, answer. I know why they're busy at the house.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, Mustafa gets it.
Yeah, it's because I'm black. No,
you wish.
Okay, see, now you made it sound like it was contagious or sickly or something.
I mean, being black is contagious. I mean, you would know.
See, you're not helping.
I am helping you.
It's called. It's called AIDS.
What you're doing is taking Pachar off the hook. That's what you're helping with.
Black of the berry, the sweet of the juice, my brother.
All right, so what happened to the women that was supposed to come over and help him with his hair and their fruits?
They said they were, and I still haven't got an answer back.
Ah. Hey, Mustafa, how ripe is that berry?
Apparently not ripe enough. Apparently it's a prune at this point. It's just a raisin in the sun.
All right.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Something you don't know about.
No, it's because we didn't went through this already. It's
okay. I haven't gone back and listened to all of Monetize this yet from the night I fell asleep, but I know there's 7 hours that I haven't heard it all, but some of it was
to the
funny.
audience, I apologize. I'll dump out right now because my patience is very thin with Pacharo. I'm sorry.
Wow, damn.
He's really not saying much, to be honest. He's just kind of staring aimlessly, you know what I mean?
And then also had to walk in the rain, deal with that shit. And then they get shot in the back by same people again.
What?
Yeah, I had to walk in the rain because I have no car, and then I get shot by the same people again.
You got shot?
Wait, you pull the guard guts?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, you know how sometimes like he'll walk from like the liquor store and back.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like a 20-30 minute walk.
It's a Hispanic thing, walking in the rain.
I walk.
All right. Well, Bashar, as much as how was work though? Was it good for you? Did you like AEW tonight? Did you even watch it?
I didn't even pay attention. I was just trying to text the person like, when are you coming to do my hair? And they never even answered. More concerned over that.
Yeah, I can tell. It's a good thing you're here, though. I'll tell you. You're adding something. I'll tell you that. Let's go to the donations.
I'm trying to add more.
Motherfucker, here we go. Everyone knows I'm
out the window. Yo.
Motherfucker, no romance, cause there ain't no chance in my happy pants. Could you perchance come and take this dance and leave me here? I'm a bad motherfucker, ain't got no fear. What's the time, motherfucker? Time, motherfucker. Put it in a happy rhyme, motherfucker. It's clock. Bang, bang, tick tock. Fucking in the sock. Oil shock. 2 on consignment, 1 in stock. What's the time, motherfucker? Said clock. I said clock.
What is the point to do that show and hide everything that happens?
Louis Urdaneta, OG. Louis, thanks for the $10, man. That's awesome. What is the point? It's just to add programming. I mean, the network probably thinks that they can capitalize a bit on a post show. I don't know what comes on after AEW, but I'm assuming, or what was coming on, but I know the Slap show was on for a bit, but
Thank God it's off. Thank God.
Well, I don't think it did that well, but it's also they didn't have any more content, right? Like they only had like 4 to 6 episodes or something. And
well, again, there was no context other than just people slapping the crap out of each other. Even, I mean, I'll give AEW All Access its props. At least it goes with different perceptions of like this situation and that situation with different talent. But still, man, it's like, wow.
Well, they're completely different shows. I just think that the network maybe thought, well, we don't have anything better and we don't have anything else. So what we'll do is we'll put on a different type of AEW content, because I'm assuming they'll keep some of the audience. So if whatever was coming on next was drawing 300,000 people or less, I'm assuming it's something like that, like 400, 300,000 or less, and whatever they would have put on would have drawn that. So they're like, well, if we do an AEW All Access thing, then 800,000 to 1 million people might leave the channel on, and maybe we'll lose some audience, but they may do it. So they probably think that they're going to do 500,000 to 600,000 viewers if they put that show on after AEW, and that's probably what it might do, which will be about 200 or 300,000 more people than whatever show they would have put on after AEW Dynamite.
Right.
So,
So pretty much, I just want to talk about one of the storylines tonight with Don Callis, which I thought that was done pretty well. Because at first I'm thinking, is Don Callis gonna turn on the Elite and then maybe align with the BCC? Are they gonna
yeah,
pull a William Regal? But the next thing Bryan Danielson's music comes out, and I'm like, oh, okay, so now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because at first the odds weren't even, or they were even at one point. Now they're not, but they kind of are now because they're trying to do the whole Hangman reconciliation, if you want to call it.
Right.
But then you also have the Dark Order sort of kind of in the mix. So what does that, you know what I mean? It's almost as if it's like the Dark Order is just like the butt of the joke of a major story and plot. And it's just
Mustafa, if you don't mind, can I hop in real quick? Because I want to ask a question about the Blackpool Combat Club.
Sure.
I want to ask, and Joe, you as well, if you want to answer. Why is that still a thing? William Regal is gone, and nobody else from the group, as far as my knowledge, is even from England.
I don't get it at this point.
That's so true.
I don't get it. And
look, I watched one episode of AEW, but I know everybody in this promotion. I'm just figuring. I'm trying to understand what's happening.
So Cesaro or Claudio, if you want to call him, I mean, he's technically the only European in the group. So
hey, look, go tell somebody from Switzerland that they're English and watch what they do to you.
I just said European. I didn't even say English, you dunce.
I'm saying the Blackpool is in England.
I understand that, and yes, I completely am with you.
He's not telling you, Rostov. He's saying that he's talking about in general with what people will say over there. He's not talking about.
Yeah, I'm not talking about you, bro, for sure.
I hope not, but it's all good. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So,
well, he's not talking to you, so you're not damned at all. You're just
no. I'm talking about in general with Blackpool Combat Club. That's what I'm talking about.
All Access is just exposing the business even more, Steve Lang, and how I agree, man. I
just said that earlier. Yeah. I mean, that's all it's doing, and the business has already been exposed enough. But then now it's like casual viewers who are not even most likely WWE fans, or if maybe they've seen WWE.
No, think about it. Think about some. How many kids? I mean, it may not be a lot, but think about it. There's 10,000 to 50,000 kids who are between the ages of maybe 7 to 14. Or maybe younger, 6 to 13 or something like that. Whatever. They're watching AEW, and maybe they don't really watch WWE, and they just watch AEW once in a while, and they're younger, and they see that, and that's their first time really fully being like, oh yeah, this is all fake, and it's reminding them of it. It's just, it's
right after their major program on a Wednesday.
Right. Hey, all that stuff you just watched. Let's watch how it's all fake now. Like we're sitting here talking about stuff, probably exposing it less, but they're going on there and just, I don't know. I just find it. I don't know,
Joe,
dude.
Trust me. If anything, what we're doing is adding credibility to what is going on that screen, because we're coming on and talking about it as if, you know what I'm saying, like it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly. It's kind of building credibility. I mean, we do talk about, we didn't like what they did, this did, and the other thing. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many episodes this is going to be. I think maybe 8 episodes, maybe 6, or whatever the number is. It's not going to be for a long period of time until they have like a season 2, which they'll probably renew either later on this year or next year. Because if they have good numbers, which probably won't be as many, they'll try to at least do a second season, and it probably could be it for this episodic or shortened episodic series for AEW. But at any rate, so what was your opinion on the Kenny Omega match, the U.S. title match?
I thought it was okay. I don't really like the guy who was wrestling. I didn't care, basically. So
it reminded me of Scott Norton.
I know I've seen him before and stuff. I didn't care that much. Like I didn't. That's all it came down to, is I didn't care that much. I thought they had an okay-ish match, but I just didn't care.
Another thing that they don't do, and we've talked about this before, where if there's a guy that we really don't see on a week-to-week basis that's from another company, you should be doing promo packages for like a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, they just bring in these people and they go, guess who's? Oh my God, he's coming! Like, oh my, like I don't fucking know who he is. I don't care really,
And if I can hop in real quick, I just want to say that they should be doing that with Kenny instead of the guy that they're just bringing in randomly. Take him off of TV for 4 weeks, build up some packages, have him doing some shit.
Well, we already know who Kenny is. We already know who Kenny is as far as the North American side, just because he's been wrestling more so in North America than anywhere else besides his injuries the past couple of years. But yeah, with people that are wrestling exclusively in Japan or wrestling exclusively in Mexico or wrestling exclusively in Europe, give us the time to digest who this guy is facing. Plus, you could also probably even spike a rating, especially if somebody didn't know that this guy was coming in at the last minute. Even though it might not be much of a rating, but at least something,
Right.
That's what I would think.
Right. But, Joe, real quick, just to go over because Ring of Honor is coming up this Friday, which is the same night as SmackDown and the Hall of Fame and various other different, and also Ring of Honor, AEW Rampage, which nobody's going to watch this week. But Lucha Brothers, Top Flight, The Kingdom, in the Sky Ladder match, reach for the Sky Ladder match for the ROH tag title. So we just heard today that Tony is relinquishing or basically the Ring of Honor current Ring of Honor tag titles, the way that they look, they're being discontinued, and he's bringing in brand new Ring of Honor titles, basically in honor of Jay Briscoe's passing.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
that's cool.
I mean, normally whenever you see like a multiple person tag match, it's just going to be, the usual sort of kind of car wreck, derby, car wreck derby. I mean, what do you think is, what are you going to be looking forward to after the match? Like, are you looking for an angle that maybe, Mark Briscoe might get back in the tag team scene if the Samoa Joe match doesn't necessarily pan out and he becomes the champion?
Man, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Watching Mark Briscoe wrestle with anybody else as a tag team partner might make me cry again. I don't know if I want to do that, and that's just me. I'm super emotional sometimes, so I totally understand. But that I don't know if I can handle that. Like I don't know if I want to see that.
I get it, and I completely see that also, and I don't, in a way, want that to happen. But I also know that whatever Mark Briscoe wants to do, he'll do. If Tony says, "Hey, I want you to do this creatively," again, he could find a way to say, "Hey, let's maybe try this." And I'm assuming that still Mark Briscoe is still exclusive, even though he can wrestle on AEW if Tony needs him to. But he's mainly exclusive to Ring of Honor because those contracts, I think, are still good.
Yeah. And I agree. Like, and I want to just make it clear, like, if he wants to do that, then by any means, please go ahead. And if I can feel how I feel just on the outside, you know what I mean? That has nothing to do with that. So I agree. If it is good for him, and if it works, and there's a good plan for it, and there's a way to present it properly, please, by all means, do it. I wouldn't even mind if they named the belts after him. If they was like, if somebody's like a 7-time Briscoe, you know what I'm saying? Like
the Briscoe belt.
Can you imagine, Joe? The Briscoe Championship is like the hardcore championship for the
and it's like they're like a 7-8-time Briscoe winner. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you make it a thing. That would be very dope. I would love that.
I wonder if that'll crash faster than the 24/7 title. But at any rate, the World Six-Man title.
There was a joke there that I don't want to make. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, they're repeating the All Access show. They're putting it out. Like somebody wants to watch this again.
Oh my god! Are you kidding me,
dude? But so we have the Embassy, AR Fox, and Blake Christian, and versus Matalik for the World Six-Man titles. I mean, honestly, I'm not really looking forward to them. I don't really like the 6-person title matches at all.
No, I don't like them at all either. I don't care for them.
Mustafa, can I ask what was your favorite part of Dynamite or Joe Pacharo?
I mean, personally, for me, I mean, again, I like the Kenny Omega match. I know Joe doesn't necessarily care for it. I mean, I liked it just as an athletic competition between those two. Okay. I especially the outro of that match where Bryan Danielson becomes a heel again, which is very cool.
Yeah. That feels needed, especially if he's not gonna, beat MJF. There has to be some that can really go a long way.
To me,
and somebody that didn't watch that's interesting. I might watch next week to see what they do with that.
To me, the best thing was MJF. To me, it was.
I thought.
Oh, I totally forgot. So I'm watching the Access, right? And MJF basically says, he looks at the camera guy and he goes, "You think I'm going to let you fall around me for free? Get the hell up out of here." And he walks off. I was like,
bro, that is amazing.
Honestly, that's probably the only thing I actually liked about this show is that. Yeah. But Samoa Joe is going to be taking on Mark Briscoe for the ROH television title. That's probably the only match on this show that I'm really looking forward to. Just because, I want to see whether or not, Mark will actually, take the belt.
So are we going to get at 15, 18 minutes, though? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to get that?
Oh, no. These matches are going to get the time of day, especially since that it's a
25, 30 at least?
Yeah, probably, definitely at least 20, 25.
Okay.
Athena versus Sakazia for the Ring of Honor.
Whoa, what'd you
title.
Say?
What the?
I'm just kidding.
Sakazaka.
I'm joking.
Sakazika? No. Sakazaki.
Zakazaki. Okay, let's be careful with that.
For the women's title.
Be real careful.
Talking about the sake, like what you drink.
I mean, Saki's cool too.
I thought you were talking about
take him
Sucky
warm.
Sucky.
Damn right.
Sucky Sucky.
I mean, that's what you do, Joe.
Ducky.
Ducky, ducky, quack, quack. Wheeler Yuta and Shibata are going after the pure title in that match. So that's going to be a pretty good match as far as technical ability goes. So, look forward to that. El Hijo del Vinico. I'm butchering this. And Commander for the Triple Omega title.
It doesn't matter. They all sound like names, foreign names. That's all that matters.
That's not cool. I'm speaking like Carlito now. And then, of course, we got Claudio taking on Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor World Title. They build it tonight. I think Excalibur said it's like 15 years in the making. I mean, granted, I didn't watch where they used to wrestle. I only knew about Eddie Kingston when he came into NWA, and Claudio I knew when he came to WWE. So I'm like very limited on their history until like I saw like a video recently of their rivalry and Shikara. That's what it was, Shikara.
Yeah, Chikara, yeah.
But I mean, again, all it is just Eddie just pissing and moaning about like you've been ducking me. I deserve a title shot. Well, he's got a title shot. Claudio's saying that he's doesn't have the discipline, nor is he dedicated. I'm assuming that most likely Claudio is just going to go over on this one because they really need to keep the heat on him, especially since that the BCC is heavy on AEW television right now.
Wait, did Claudio really say that in the promo to Eddie Kingston?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. I will put a belt on Claudio just because he's working out over Eddie Kingston.
I mean, I'm probably going to watch the Ring of Honor PPV after it's already aired, just because I want to watch the Hall of Fame actually, even though that it's not like a star-studded Hall of Fame this year, but there's a couple of good. I mean, we heard about Tim White is being inducted through the Warrior Award, which I find a little bit. I find a little bit odd since that why can't he just be inducted regularly? What's the association?
Wait, Tim White,
the
referee?
Yeah, the ref.
Yeah.
Why don't?
But that's a different idea. I like where Mustafa's going with that because I haven't heard anybody else present it as far as
wait a minute, because maybe he's getting the Warrior Award because remember Warrior wanted it to be like people behind the scenes and that worked in the company and stuff like that.
Yeah, no. I got you on that, Joe. I'm not arguing.
No, I'm not arguing either. I'm just saying maybe that's what it is. But like at the same time, why can't Tim White just go in as a referee? I don't like. You're right. Why does he have to be the Warrior Award?
I agree with that because have they inducted any referees before? Like, will he be the first?
I think this is the first time.
He would be the
Earl
first
Hebner
referee.
should have been the first, but I guess not.
But funny enough, Tim White, I mean, as far as the Warrior Award and that sort of kind of like connection, maybe because he watched Andre for all those years before he passed away, maybe because he, I don't know, certain things behind the scenes, like maybe because they used his bar, which they always trashed for like 8 years, and then he kept on redoing the bar that he owned. I don't know. Tim White's a great guy from what I was told by people who knew him.
Mustafa, I'm sure you'll even agree with this. I even told Gargus this. This is why we need people like that have been in the business and have mingled and rubbed elbows. Joe, you are very much included in this. We need you guys to continue to pass on that knowledge so that the actual art of this shit doesn't get lost. And it's not just all gymnastics, and it's not just all ballet, and it's not just all theatrics and theater and performance. While that is so very much important, it is so important. We cannot just focus on the theatrics of execution of moves, because when that fails, then you fail. There needs to be a other side. That is the reason why The Rock could raise his eyebrow and there would be 30,000 people in a building that wasn't even in front of him physically and would cheer. There's a certain charisma factor. There's a certain reason why wrestling is the way it is. The reason it is the way it is because we are all watching, and none of us that are sitting here watching, half of these people that are wrestling in this ring feel like we couldn't beat them up in a real fight. Put some real stakes on the line. Your family versus my family. I will gouge your eyes out, bro. I'm sorry, Marco Stunt. I will fucking murder you, bro. I'm sorry.
Well,
this is not a joke. This is not a drill. I'm not playing with you.
Right.
And that's why I hate the damn fucking AEW actors. Come on, man.
So
the other show.
Access is a failure, you're saying? No one is really giving it a good rating.
The fact that they're putting some of this shit on television makes me think that I don't think they love it how I do, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's fair. You have a right to your expression, but I have a right to disagree with it. So I'm gonna do that.
Honestly, I'm just watching this literally on mute right now, on repeat. My God, it's depressing.
Yeah,
it is so bad.
Of course it is, because you can actually be going. These same people could just be going on Instagram Live, getting actual people to just be following them, and then have a storyline planned and do it out actually, and then the Instagram Live will blow. Oh my God, Jay Cargill just got hit by a car. Oh, do something crazy, make it happen. I'm just saying, like, you could actually do that though. You have to see like, she got hit by a car. She's in the hospital right now. There's hundreds of thousands of people following this fake story. You could do that, but you're not doing it. That's your problem.
Yeah, man, preach.
Well,
yeah, dude, I watched the AEW Access for like 5 minutes and said, "Oh my God, this is garbage."
Bro, I promise you, if Kenny Omega gets in a gaming scandal, it will be more popular than his goddamn product.
Oh, right. The gaming scandal. Well, but before we even get to WrestleMania and all that, Joe, we got one more segment between Cody and Roman this SmackDown Friday night. So, out of curiosity, what do you want to see in the closing SmackDown before Mania? What do you want to see between these two?
I don't.
What would make you really want to see this match?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to be looking for who comes out on top, because it usually means the opposite at Mania. It's like 80%, 85%. So if Roman beats up Cody, I think we're going to see like Cody and Kevin and Sammy again, kind of standing tall in the ring, or like separating, fighting with the Usos and the whatever. And so that I don't know what's going to happen now, because like I said, they did my WrestleMania finish on Raw. So unless they repeat that at WrestleMania, which would be kind of like, what? Why would they do that?
What I think is going to happen. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I think is going to happen at WrestleMania is that not Roman. When the Usos lose, Roman will be like pissed off the next night or whatever. And like the Usos will be like, you know what? We don't need this shit, because Roman's chewing them out, and like, we don't need this shit. Why don't you go face Cody by yourself? And then like, they leave him by himself, and then Solo goes with them, and so now it's Roman versus Cody.
I wouldn't do that quickly. I would span that. I would span that over a number of weeks, maybe even a few months, because you really got to milk it, because Roman. And I'm not sure if you noticed this, Luke, but the thing is, as Roman's been champion for the longer he has been champion, you notice that in his promos or this and that, he gets more and more paranoid. He gets more and more anxious. And that's the whole point of him losing everything, because Cody basically planted the seed a few promos ago, where he's like, you're going to lose your family. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. And that's just being prophetic to lay the seed for, again, what is a great long-term booking storyline.
I think it's a great storyline, even if they have Cody lose and they have Roman retain and they build it more and more. But at the same time, I do think there isn't really a more perfect time to have Roman drop the belt than right now, because
I agree.
Because like now, like we've been saying, who else but Cody? What are you gonna do? You have potential stars. You have potential stars that need more time. Like, I think LA Knight in a year or two could be one of the biggest, stars in the WWE. He's getting a lot of crowd reaction, even though they've been kind of booking him like shit.
And especially after the fact that the Bobby Lashley Bray Wyatt experiment didn't work, and also this idea is, like, again, I'm not sure if people really know this, but LA Knight has been in the business for over a dozen, probably about 15 years. This guy is just money. He is charisma. He spews.
Yeah,
charisma.
and he's gonna be a future big star in the WWE. At the moment,
Luke, I love you, Mustafa. I love you. Please don't attach yourself to him, please, because I don't think they believe. I don't think they see what you see, bro. Please don't attach.
Well, I don't.
Well, you know what? They didn't.
McMahon does it.
Maybe Vince. I don't know. I mean, we say that a lot, you know, like we didn't think the WWE was going to ever see anything in Sammy. And you know what? Now Sammy is getting a huge push. And whether or not it took them a long time or not, he's been paid for years. And now he's in that position that we all wanted him in. So yeah, maybe it'll take WWE time, or it could be in a matter of just a year or two. MJF, or not MJF. I always do that. LA Knight might be booked the way we want him to. But what I'm saying right now is there is no other star besides Cody that is eligible enough to be a threat to Roman. And I don't want another fucking 12 months of Roman as champion. I don't want to wait till the next Mania.
Go ahead, Mustafa.
I was just going to say, and Joe, we've talked about this for months, where it's like, even if Cody were to go over at Mania, yes, you could probably get one more match out of him with Roman and do a rematch. But the thing is, it's like, who are the strongest contenders that you could put up against him that can legitimate himself as a babyface champion?
You literally just made my point. Thank you, bro. Because I'm telling you, the real issue right now with the people that want this to happen, the people that are cheering for Cody, that are going to Mania and will cheer for it, is because they're looking at this roster. They're looking at how it's been presented. They're looking at Edge. They're looking at Finn Balor. They're looking at Drew. They're looking at Gunther. They're looking at Shane. They're like, we ain't got nowhere to go once Cody wins this belt. This is shit.
No, you know what? I disagree. I disagree heavily with this. Here's the reason why I think it's different. There's no star big enough to dethrone Cody, because nobody is a babyface with that much heat. However, a lot of the people that are heels now were faces during Roman's reign, and unfortunately, they're not viewed as threats to Roman anymore because they've all lost to Roman. You can only have this
once but twice.
The problem is,
twice, 3 times, and a lot of the times it's due to bullshit like, oh, Roman cheated, and then they never got their rematch. So that's the problem. That's the problem that comes with building a monster heel and booking a huge championship reign that lasts nearly 3 years, is that unfortunately the stars that are getting built to challenge Roman are going to eventually lose a lot of momentum. And I think if you continue Roman's championship reign, that problem is going to be more evident when it comes around SummerSlam or next year.
That is my point. Cody is a babyface champion. He has to be on TV every week, damn near. So my point is, he's fighting against the people that Roman Reigns has already bitched, and made them look like second and third rate citizens.
Well, he hasn't faced Gunther. He hasn't faced Gunther, who's gonna definitely be in the main event scene soon.
In the Royal Rumble to be in this match, he eliminated him. We were there.
And Joe, you also have to take this into consideration. Like, I can only remember one other time, at least back when I was growing up, like when I saw Jericho when he won the undisputed title, right? I remember Jim Ross said this in a commentary. He says, this is the first time I could ever remember a champion, the world heavyweight champion being an underdog. And if Cody wins the title and he is the champion for a certain amount of time, that's all he's going to be, especially to a lot of, whether it be smart fans or people that, watch wrestling consistently. I mean, again, he's going to be an underdog babyface champion, which is not a position you want one of your main protagonists to be in on a consistent basis.
I'm going to tell you right now, we have our ingredients right now of a new era DX. Triple H is running this company, allegedly. Cody Rhodes is here with the championship. We have the potential to have a whatever this era's version of DX would be situation. Once Cody has this little Shawn Michaels era run where, the boyhood dream comes alive. Yeah, we've had this already, and we know what's going to happen.
Well, the biggest difference between Shawn Michaels' reign. Between Shawn Michaels' reign and Cody's potential reign is, one, Shawn Michaels was champion when there was like nothing going on, and that was a pretty bad period of WWE.
Before NWO too.
Before NWO, I don't even know who the fuck. All I know is that he had one great match against Mankind in your house, and then the rest
came later. That came later.
Yeah, the rest of his title reign, who gives a fuck? But he held it for like 280 days. But the difference between that is, you have a lot of great matchups for Cody to face. And I do think you have interesting stories, and eventually we'll probably get Cody versus Lesnar, depending if Lesnar retires or not, which a lot of rumors saying that this might be it for him. I don't think that's the truth, but
you can't put Cody in a ring with Brock Lesnar. Why would you do that? Why would anybody?
Well, why would you put Cody anybody in the ring with Lesnar? All Lesnar does is fucking squash people. It's the same thing if you put Lesnar in the fucking ring with a 7'5" guy, he's gonna squash that guy. So and also Roman is pretty much the same size as Brock, maybe a little smaller, and he's going in the ring with Cody, and we're all being like, hey, Cody's the most believable threat to Roman's title in years.
And here's the other thing people are missing.
Wait, Brock and Roman are not the same size. No.
Well, then why do you go, why is Roman in the same ring as Brock? I hope he fucking kills himself, skinny bitch. Like, no, the guy, this is wrestling, like, I don't know if it would be different if we're talking about fucking like Rey Mysterio, like, oh yeah, he's a credible threat against Brock, but Cody's a pretty ripped dude, and he's not too far off from like Seth Rollins' build, who Brock has lost to. So I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, that being the case, I don't think you should write it off like, well, if Cody wins, he's going to have a boring reign. I think you should be interested in the matches that are to come and to see how they build, interested in to see how they're going to build heels and faces as time goes on after Roman is not champion.
That's just the thing. I think even going back to Austin when he won his first title, right? Like, again, the idea that his first match was with Foley. People tend to forget that he wrestled him and his Dude Love, which is like his probably least favorite, characters, at least from the audience standpoint, especially as a heel. And then he goes from Foley, then he goes to Kane, then he goes to Taker, and it was like that for a while until the next year where he faced Rock in the main event.
Did anybody see that? Did anybody see that picture of Cody with Braun on his shoulders?
I did see that, yes.
Well, I was pretty impressed. I was like, damn.
Well, again, it's going to be a slow-paced match between Roman and Cody. We all know that. So it's going to be more of a lot of these guys grabbing a hold, waiting, grabbing a hold, a double down, knockdown, and just, it's going to be a lot more emotion intact to not necessarily the moves that they do, but more so in the pacing. It's going to be a slow match, kind of like what Seth and Cody was last year, which I still have the clip of Joe losing his mind when Cody came out.
Was that WrestleMania last year? WrestleMania last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad, man. Didn't we have, and that's the thing that sucks about having a strike on the main channel this year. Yeah. I think we had I had 1,000 people watching or something like that at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Which, back in the day, we used to have that every Monday, but for WrestleMania, that's not too bad,
We'll put the word out. But, I mean, speaking of WrestleMania,
you'll have WrestleMania in the thumbnail. You're going to get a lot of clicks either way,
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'm not going to lie. We really do be having sneaky people coming in that fuck with us that you wouldn't even be able to attach.
Sneaky people.
You know what I'm saying? They come in and get they likes in and get they views in. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
God, those commies. No, I'm playing.
No. You gotta really be careful.
I know.
Well, if they bring The Rock is not coming back if he's not.
Someone said that Mox hasn't bled in over a month. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's been 3. I don't think it's been a month. Has it really? I think it's been 3 weeks. Has it been 4 or 5 weeks? I can't believe it.
Since the pay-per-view.
When was that?
Stop taking his estrogen pills.
Maybe March flew by more than I realized, I guess, because I'm surprised to hear that.
Didn't he talk about that with his interview with his wife?
He said a lot of fucking stupid shit. Yeah. Did you hear him? He flipped out on the locker room too. He was like, "This place is fucked." I'm like, "Oh, he hates it too." Everybody hates AEW now.
So he buried the locker room, and he even said when he was during SummerSlam weekend last year, he had the belt with him, and he could have went to the with the belt because he's not under contract technically with AEW, which begs the question, Tony. Put this guy under a freaking contract, you dunce.
Wait a minute, John Moxley.
Didn't he sign a fucking 5-year contract?
Wait a minute, John Moxley signed a fucking huge contract. I thought he had a $6 million contract. So when did it expire?
See, this is the thing. There's no confirmed. I don't think, because I've seen the 6 million figure a bunch, and I just can't believe that. It's just he's making more than what Roman makes.
Well, no, but we were told, like even Jericho said it. Jericho received a huge paycheck for Jericho, more money at AEW than WWE offered him. I think it was $4 million or something like that. And then they brought Moxley in for more than Jericho. And then several different people mentioned the 6 million. So
maybe
I saw 3 million. The first reports I saw were 3 million, and then they jumped up to 6 million.
Well,
and I'm like, Moxley, don't get me wrong, he's probably one of their biggest, or their most reliable big star they have. Like, he's their go-to guy, especially that was evident last summer. But I mean, 6 million? I don't know. That's like, isn't that what Ronda Rousey was getting paid? Just
maybe
before they.
But the precedent been set by Jericho.
Sorry, Joe.
No, the numbers have been set by Jericho. $4 million for Jericho, and they paid more to Moxley. So the 6 million sounds right to me, because we heard 6 million from multiple, fairly good sources. And on top of that, Jericho mentioned, that Moxley gets more than him. So you can add it up. It's probably 6 million.
I'm actually wondering about the women now, as far as how much they're not even making 7 figures. They're probably making like the mid.
No, they're not. I think you're right. I'm sure Britt Baker's making 200,000, maybe 150.
Yeah, but like Paige ain't, or Soraya or whatever. She's
they might be too, because they got their names. So Tony jerks off for that. Ooh, I want to bring over the name.
Yeah.
So I mean,
nah.
Yeah, but women wrestlers, no matter, even if they're big names for women wrestling, they're not going to be bringing in that much money, because simply because viewership wise, people are going to watch for the guys. They're not really tuning. Like, the girls are like an added attraction, so that explains why they're getting paid so little. Like, it's kind of the same with WNBA. It's like, oh, it's sexist. It's like, no, it's just nobody wants to watch your fucking.
I think Andy is right.
That's cool, but then we still booking for him. So like, what? Like,
Andy in the chat is right. I believe he said Moxley signed for 5 years, and that's what I think it is. I think it's 5 years for 6 million.
He re-signed for a 5-year extension, but during that whole SummerSlam area of when he lost the belt to Punk and shit, and then won it back or whatever, he wasn't under contract.
Right, and remember, he also wrestles elsewhere too, consistently. So it's not just like he's just exclusive to AEW. I mean, can you imagine if he was backstage at SummerSlam with either the AEW title or the GCW title or whatever, just to be a mark?
Dude,
I'm starting to get annoyed with like AEW wrestlers, or like these older like AEW wrestlers that used to be in WWE, and they're like, man, I was in WWE and I was getting paid like $4 million a year, and I was main eventing big pay-per-views, but it's just not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be wrestling in a bingo hall with 20 people watching, where I'm bleeding to death every single night, to put over a pathetic match that nobody watches.
There are people that don't do it for the money, and then there are people that do it for the artistry, and people want sometimes.
And then there's people, Then there's people like Bryan Danielson who like complains about his yes gimmick that made him millions.
Mania. However, this will kick off the summer of the bloodline deteriorating, culminating at SummerSlam, where it's just down to Roman and Cody once again, and Roman loses everything and goes away for a few months, leaving Cody to run.
I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna rematch Cody and Roman at SummerSlam after they do it at Mania. I think if anything, it would be that Brock Lesnar Cody match, and Roman would be doing something else.
If Roman loses at Mania, he's taking some time off.
Right, he's already
time with his family and heal up.
Well, I think he may be taking time off, and then you might get Sikoa, whatever, and then the other two. So it's 3 versus 3. So Roman might not leave, and you might still get Roman for one more month with the backlash and that sort of thing.
Like I said, absolutely.
But then he'll take the time
right
off.
now, disagree with me if you want to. I'm telling you right now, If Cody and Brock face at any time, Cody is losing. I don't care what time it happens. If Brock and Cody are facing in a main event, Cody is losing. I don't disagree.
You know,
with me
Brock
now.
is literally.
I'll
You
be
know,
right
Brock's.
later. I'm telling you now.
You know, Brock's big match that he's having at WrestleMania is against the giant. Is against the giant retard. You think that he's gonna be the guy beating the biggest baby face in the company? And I'm sorry for the Sammy fans out there. I'm a Sammy fan too, but he's not the biggest baby face.
No,
they're not gonna have. They're not going to have if Cody beats Roman. But I'm just saying, if Cody beats Roman, he's not going to lose to Brock Lesnar. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Brock, by the way, I mean, again, we always remember how back in the day we always used to be mad how Big Show would go from heel to babyface and this and that. We're really not saying about that about Brock, aren't we? These past couple of years.
Brock's whatever he wants to be, you know.
Well, at least Brock, I mean, again, no disrespect to Big Show, but Brock is a better worker than Big Show ever was. But
you know what was the worst? The worst was when they put matches between Brock and the Big Show as like pay-per-view matches. Like, who wants to watch that? I'm sorry. The Big Show, the Big Show sucks, and I don't want to watch him wrestle.
There's a disconnect between the sports entertainment and the realism, bro. Like yes, people want the Cody story, but like in a real fight, Brock will fuck him up. Oh, yeah. So what are we?
Well, in a real fight, Brock would fuck anybody up.
Yeah,
right.
In a real fight, Roman wouldn't have won any of those matches.
Put on the television screen that Cody is pinning this man in any way, shape, or form. 1, 2, 3 without cheating. We not being real now.
Maybe he would get, but then again, maybe he'd do what Seth did at WrestleMania that one year where, you know, Brock attacked him from the beginning of the match. And so Seth paid him back for his cheap shot and he hit him in the nuts and then he hit him with 3 stomps and then he won the match. So I don't know. And then also it's like, this is wrestling. It's not real. Like Ken Shamrock could have kicked the fucking shit out of Stone Cold, but nobody got pissed off when Stone Cold laid a fucking can of whoop ass on him because people are like, damn, Stone Cold's a badass.
I agree with you, but he didn't sell pay-per-views, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not like it's UFC.
So wait, is it the realism that you're interested in, or is it the selling the pay-per-views?
No, I mean it's a combination of both because that's what makes a successful wrestler in the business. Like you have to be able to do both. It's not just you get to pick, oh, he's really good at tapping into speaking to the fans' heartstrings, but he's not actually bringing people to the arena. You don't get to pick both. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you have to do both.
But if they're building Cody as their biggest babyface, which they are, and Cody has to face Brock, do you think Cody, after defeating Roman at Mania, is going to lose to Brock, whose biggest match right now is against Almost?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
What I'm saying is, so how do you walk into the trap of Brock being a heel going into that match? What is he
It's easy. It's easy to do. What does Brock normally do? He goes in the ring and he either does something funny, which, you know, gets the people already, you know, cheering for him, and he can just turn on the dial, or he just simply says, okay, I'm going to beat this guy up because I want something from him, and he's a heel. It's simple. That's Brock Lesnar's character. Yeah, if he wants something or if he wants to do something, there you go.
Things sound better in execution, and hindsight is 20/20. I just want y'all to remember that. I'm gonna rest my case. I don't want to hog up the conversation.
All right. So,
but here's a big but, you know, the one that you want to fucking the asshole. I just think that if they ever do put Cody and Brock together, they're not going to be thinking like, well, you know, Cody, he'd get his ass kicked by Brock, so let's have him get squashed. They would have Cody win because he's the babyface, and what way to get the babyface more over than to put him over against Brock? You know what I mean? Like, so, but that's what I'm saying. So whether or not you think it's like, oh, that's not believable, then I'm sorry to tell you this, but anybody who's beaten Brock Lesnar wouldn't actually beat Brock Lesnar. I don't think 65-year-old Undertaker would be going 30-minute matches with Brock Lesnar if this was real, a real fight.
The only point I was saying was, how do we get there from the story that we have now? That's the question I'm asking. How do we get there? The story, bro? From winning at Mania. What I'm saying.
Well, you've got like 5 or 6 months before SummerSlam.
Okay.
Not to mention that Cody is the most over babyface, so it wouldn't be like completely unbelievable if he were to beat Brock.
The next opponent,
You know,
Cody
in terms of a booking standpoint. But I feel like we're going back and forth in circles with this. I also wanted to mention
that. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about more about Moxley's comments on basically just like AEW and CM Punk and stuff like that. Like, I don't agree necessarily with Mox's like like what's it his mindset. I don't agree with like, oh yeah, I gotta bleed every week and I'm gonna fucking risk my life in these meaningless matches that like 20 people on a live stream are watching, but hey, I'm from AEW and I'm a name. I get it, he's making money in these different things that he's doing. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do agree with his statements where he's just like, I don't want to be involved in this bullshit drama. I just want to this is a fucking job for me. And I also think that Mox is probably really annoyed with the state of AEW. And I think him mentioning that I wasn't under contract and I could have gone to SummerSlam or whatever as champion.
That's weird.
I think that was his way of saying that, like, hey, Tony, maybe you should get your fucking shit together. Because, I re-signed, but I didn't have to. And, have, like, I don't know. Maybe that was Mox's way of saying, calling AEW out in a way.
One way I agree with Moxley. This is like the...
Or not.
Well, it's weird. J-Rod, you agree with Moxley?
No, I was going to say, because I agree with him, because there's so much drama than Vince's company than never before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Moxley's done everything for them, and what's funny is CM Punk shitting on Moxley in that, or Moxley shitting on... CM Punk shit on Moxley the other day, and now Moxley's shitting on him, but isn't CM Punk the one who suggested they should bring Moxley up to the main roster? So originally CM Punk liked Moxley, now he's bashing him too. It's like, do anybody ever like they don't
know, dude.
They're all fucked up people, man. I'm telling you.
No,
CM Punk,
not they're all fucked up. It's Punk who's fucked up. He's an idiot. He lied. He said that first he says Moxley proposes the Rocky 3 idea. Then he says that Moxley said he would never lose to me. Well, which is it? Because the Rocky 3 idea means that you're going over in the end.
Right.
But now he's saying that he's never going to lose to you.
Plus, also the fact that he wasn't fully recovered from his injury. So, I mean, again, obviously they shouldn't have done that if that was the case.
No,
but again,
fuck
Tony
that.
Khan
Because
wanted it.
Also, ain't that the same thing that Hogan did to Shawn in 05 and they had that match at SummerSlam 05 because of that? Like, ain't that pretty much what happened?
A little bit like that, a little bit, but no, because no,
I don't believe.
No, Shawn Michaels did have the match, and then he oversold in the match. That's really all that happened, right? I mean,
no, they were supposed to have a rematch. Hogan was supposed to have a rematch where Shawn would go over, but then he said, "That's not going to work for me, brother."
Oh, that's
and
right.
So
yeah.
Shawn oversold in his match.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I just think it's back to the Punk is wrestling when he's injured, he shouldn't be doing that. I just don't buy that Punk, being the outspoken guy that he is, the rebel who's always complaining about shit and, going against what his boss has to say, especially with all that staph infection shit that he had to deal with in the WWE. I find it like really highly unlikely that Tony put his foot down and said, "Oh, you're wrestling tonight. You're doing it." Especially with how timid Tony Khan acts, during that AEW fucking media scrum. Like, I just don't believe Punk when he's like, "I just did what the boss told me to do. I'm just keeping my head down." Like, that doesn't match up with the character of Punk at all.
Dude.
It's unfortunate because again, Punk, and this is weird, man. It's like I always and still do respect him as a worker and somebody who can spit fire on the mic. But when it just comes to like all this conflict and contradiction and stuff like that, it's just like it's almost like dealing with somebody with bipolar disorder. And again, he doesn't, but obviously AJ has admitted that she deals with mental illness. But again, just the stress and the anxiety and all that stuff that weighs heavy on him, he just doesn't know at times when to not say something and when to say something, especially when it's dealing with stuff behind the scenes.
Dude,
I mean, he is outspoken.
Wait, I want to say though, remember we were having these exact same conversations about MJF. Remember he was cussing Tony out on TV? Fire me, you fucking Mark! Like we were having.
But that was a work. It was a work. That was there was a difference between that.
Yeah, that's a different situation though. That's a different situation. That wasn't real.
No,
do you really think?
I'm not about to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Like I would be insane to think that this is not a work.
Yeah, and like I get you, man. Like, why would they have, like why is Roman allowed to just beat up other wrestlers and stuff and like cheat in his matches? Like, you'd think the boss would say something about that,
Right.
No, I didn't want you to focus on that, but I see where you're going with it.
Dude,
It's a work. They're like Punk. The stuff that the media's from is a lot different because that was real, and there was a fist fight that was involved, and he was publicly bashing his own company. The promo that MJF cut was very similar to the pipe bomb, where it was they went over it beforehand. And they probably, shouted out some ideas to him, or maybe he did improvise it, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go out there and say some shit, and they're like, what's he doing? He can't. What is he saying? Like they would have cut his mic off like immediately if that were the case.
But that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I'm telling you without even having any information. My theory is that this is what happened. This was the plan, and just like what CM Punk is known to do, he has a plan for this, but he gets too personal. He said some shit that went too far, and when he got back in the locker room, they actually had a fight because people are sensitive and emotional now. It's not 2011 anymore, bro. Said like they took it offensive. Somebody's dog was in the locker room. They didn't give a fuck. They wanted to bang right then. So that's what happened. Yeah, it got legal then. The world is different now. That's what I'm saying. Wrestling is different now. You can't just do that. So I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that is still a part of this shit. If it wasn't, then they wouldn't be able to talk about it at all. If it was completely legal, it would be a crime scene. There would be evidence. There would be plaintiffs and defendants. Yeah. They wouldn't be able to talk about anything. So the fact that they're talking about anything at all lets me know, and again, I'm speaking just off of the people that I know that have had 50 years in the legal field. They would not be able to put that on television if it was something that was actually something that was like plaintiff defendant.
Well, they're saying they can't.
But they didn't put it on television.
They're saying they
put
can't
it on television since barely even mentioned it on television.
They're not putting it on television, and they're saying they can't. They said legally they cannot do anything about it. That's why
and it also hasn't resulted into a trial. Because I don't think anybody's really pressing charges.
Yeah. Because remember, Punk originally was trying to press charges, on individual people.
Of course, he's the one who's going to start trying to press charges before anybody.
Punk's defense was, I'm in Chicago, so I have a right.
Garbage.
Punk said, in his own words, I have a right to defend myself because in Chicago, there's some type of legality where it's like you could throw fists and it's like, whatever, it's legal.
Oh my God, that was in Chicago too.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Punk said in the press conference, if you have a problem with me, come see me. What happened? And what happened?
Yeah, I bet he talked to his lawyer. And then his lawyer's like, why would you say that? You can't. You're gonna press charges on a fight that you instigated, and not to mention you threw the first punch, and then there was some bullshit.
Your friend who was a producer got fired.
Yeah.
And your friend was like throwing a steel chair at people. Like,
and the dog got beat up. The dog took a shot, for Christ's sake.
Poor Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is the only one in that situation that kind of came out a little unscathed because everybody was just like, he seems like he only cared about the dog and that whole thing.
Yeah.
He was just trying to protect the dog.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's how weak he is.
I think even Punk said, I think there was like a report that Punk said to Omega during the whole thing that my problem is not with you. and then he was more pissed off with the Bucks and Hangman and Colt Cabana.
And then
I don't know. It's just crazy that all of this started because of a workers' rights promo.
Then the Bucks said, "Fuck your dog." That's what they said. They were like, "Fuck your dog. We love Christ." I heard that.
Yeah, fuck your dog. We love Christ, and
the Young Bucks
and we're Republicans.
Yeah, and the Young Bucks gimmick at the time was, we're Christian AF, and they sold it as T-shirts, which I found hilarious. So going back towards the main, I mean, should we run down the card real quick? Even though, again,
no, I already did it. I don't want to do it again. I already did it. Just give me your thoughts on anything important you think you want to mention before we slide out of the Discord. Go ahead.
You ran down the whole card already.
Did you miss the first 30 minutes of my show?
I was listening, but like I said, I was also tuning into Access and NJPW. So
so you weren't listening. Yeah, that's fine. No, I did from the beginning to the end. I went through everything really quickly, and I didn't think it was that great to really go over. So, but I did. I went through everything. But give me give me the highlights for you. I mean, I didn't think it was a very great show tonight. I thought it was a 6 out of 10 show, and it was all over the place in some ways. The MJF promo wasn't.
Oh, you mean the card for AEW or the card for WrestleMania?
No, for Mania.
Oh, no. I'm going to do Mania. We'll do that tomorrow. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
All right. Well, why before, because I know we're going to do it tomorrow, but I want to just say this.
Yeah.
There is no reason why the tag team championship match should not be the main event of night one, and why the SmackDown Women's title match should be, beside the fact that it's a woman's match. If this was a man, Charlotte and Rhea were men, there would be I would have no doubt in my mind that would not be main eventing night one, and that it'd be Sammy, Kevin, and the Usos.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Just because they're of a different gender, we are now wondering, is that going to be the main event? And I feel like, in a way, it's going to hinder that match because people want Sammy so badly to at least get a main event at WrestleMania.
And here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, though. And again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the thing is, Charlotte Flair, in the company's mind, is considered the number one woman that they center their division around. That's just plain facts. They want her in the main event. They owed this to her from last year because originally that was supposed to be the main event, but the main event segment was Austin and Owens. And Austin did boost up ticket sales, even though there wasn't an initial boost at first when his name
She
was
got
announced.
the main event already. She got a main event. And it was a terrible main event that nobody liked.
And this is the second time that Rhea and Charlotte are actually facing each other, because the last time they faced each other at Mania was during literally the initial beginning of the pandemic. It's understandable. But Rhea's character has grown. Charlotte character, I mean, again, it's pretty much stays the same. It's just, she's a baby face in this deal.
I've had I'm sorry, I just want to say I've had a change of heart on Charlotte. I am I don't know. I think she's actually one of my favorites to watch in the ring, and I appreciate what she brings to the roster, because without her, that SmackDown Women's roster was fucking terrible. I mean, you had Ronda as champion, and oh my God, the fucking magic that she brings to the show.
She beat Charlotte for the title a month later after Mania, which,
Yeah, she beat Charlotte a month later so she could lose, because her title reign lasted a month long. Then she lost it to Liv. Then she wins it back to Liv, and they're like,
and I believe that was an I Quit match or a submission match or something like that, right after.
The WWE went, okay, let's give it to Ronda. Oh, fuck, Ronda sucks. Give it to Liv. Oh, fuck, Liv sucks. Give it back to Ronda. Oh, fuck, Ronda sucks. Give it to Charlotte again. Just keep it on Charlotte. Just keep it on Charlotte until we find someone else, because it's not going to work.
The funny thing is, they repeated this formula even after when Vince left.
Right.
Yeah, and that's not, and that's it. And then I remember Solo Monster and other guys getting pissed off, why would you give the belt to Charlotte? Blah, blah, blah. It's who would you rather give the belt to? Would you keep it on fucking Ronda, who sucks? Would you put it on fucking Shayna Baszler, that makes me want to take a nap? Would you put it on fucking Sonya Deville, that big-nosed fucking lesbian bitch? No. Give it to Charlotte because she's your fucking top star.
At a noun and a verb, and apparently you got a badass sentence. My God.
And also, I just wanted to say that what I was getting at was that I think if Rhea and Charlotte main events, it's going to hinder that match because people so badly want Sammy to be in the main event that they're going to be like resentful towards this match because it got the main event when it really doesn't deserve it. It's a good match. It's a good match, and I'm looking forward to it, but it's not a main event material. I'm
not gonna lie. The only time I ever saw a women's main event, other than and I'm speaking mainly about WrestleMania, that I actually was looking forward to, and I was like, this belongs in a main event, was when Bianca was taking on Sasha.
This belongs in a museum.
For a couple reasons.
Sorry.
It belongs in a museum.
I actually do like that catchphrase. But
do you know what that's from?
Sasha and Bianca wrestling at WrestleMania in night one for the women's title, that to me was a main event, and it belonged in that spot for a number of reasons.
Right.
But
I thought that match was kind of meh, to be quite honest. That felt like that felt like they didn't realize, like they didn't have any idea of what was going to main event. They're like, might as well just do Bianca and Sasha because they're both black women, And that will be like,
it's more than just that. It was more than just that, but just I remember the match very vividly because it was all centered around Bianca's, hair extension pretty much, and
every match Bianca does. Every match Bianca has is about her fucking hair.
I know,
cut it off, you fucking long-haired cunt.
But that was the first time. That was the first time that she actually took that hair and just whooped Sasha. And then
I'll never forget that Jim Ross. That Jim Ross call with her in the women's tournament thing. I'll never forget how good that was. Yeah. I don't even know where to watch that anymore, but it was so good. I loved that.
What did he say? What did he say?
She whipped somebody with her hair, and then Jim Ross went, "My God!" Like he just I don't know. He freaked out. Like it was crazy.
It was awesome.
I always liked when JR would be like, he hits him with a vile strike. Like, oh my God, that strike wasn't just devastating, it was vile.
Oh, I think this is it. Hold on, I think this is it.
How do you legislate this? Good grief! What the hell?
Oh, that's it. That was it. Oh my God, dude.
What the hell?
What the hell? Like, dude, Bianca Belair beat the shit out of Kairi Sane with her hair.
Not quite like Mauro Ranallo when he goes, "What the hell?"
But listen, that was great. I could listen to this all day.
Just like this. Good grief! What the hell?
Oh my God. What the hell? Like,
by the way, I know I just said that Bianca's a long-haired cunt or whatever I just said. I didn't mean that. I like Bianca. It's just right now her title reign has just been meh at best.
Hey, Joe,
she hasn't.
Joe, this was my question for you because you asked me this before, as far as like what like a highlight or whatever. I mean, which women's match? I mean, as far as this year, would you rather see, gun to your head, the Raw Women's Title Championship match or the SmackDowns? If you had to just watch one of these,
probably Charlotte. I guess.
And Rhea.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because the other
Rhea's
option
match
is Bianca and Asuka, and quite frankly, that match just has no build to it at all. Like, I think the build is that Asuka made a few like meanie faces towards
mind games, as they call it, mind games.
Oh, no. It's the same fucking build up they have for every Asuka match. She makes she comes out, makes a face, and goes. And it's like, wow, that's gonna be a fucking spectacular fucking match. I can't wait. Go down in the history books. Remember her amazing match she had with Rhea that almost fucking put the crowd to sleep at WrestleMania? I can't wait for another one of those.
Right.
How about you do another fucking slow ass discus forearm that doesn't connect?
Some of those forearms are just terrible, dude. Those kicks.
All of her forearms are terrible. None of them look good. They're slow. They don't connect. I just stop doing them. Stop doing them, Asuka.
Now she has a forehead. She has a forehead now. Anyway,
I know you're like 65 at this point, and you're slowing down in the ring.
Tajiri,
All right, boys.
I don't know. Asuka hasn't been the same in the ring for a while, and
she's older though, man. She's 45 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I respect that she's still,
I'm not trying to make excuses
doing it.
for women, but like women, 45-year-old woman in the ring is like a 55-year-old man in the ring.
No, I understand completely. Like, I'm not trying to devalue her or whatever.
No, I know.
But I'm not going to be like sitting here being like, oh, yeah, this is great wrestling. Can't wait to see Asuka have a great match. Because to be quite honest, Asuka, I don't think I've seen a great Asuka match in like years. And the only times they are great is usually when they're like a triple threat where she isn't, you know, the sole person to work off of. You know, when there's multiple people in the match to bounce off of besides Asuka, she could be in those matches and it's great. But when you get these one-on-one matches, she just comes off kind of sloppy and slow. And, you know, it sucks because... Yeah, sloppy blowjob. You know, and it sucks too because Asuka was at one point one of the greatest women's wrestlers in the world. And now I just kind of feel like, you know, like I should be way more hyped for Asuka and Bianca Belair, but I'm just not. And that's a testament to how I don't know how how Asuka's stock has gone down for me and how Bianca's title reign has been a complete snooze fest that just never ends.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Anyway,
Bianca's she's just kind of like on cruise control at a level 5 or 6 right now, Bianca.
Yeah, she's been like that since she won the title. She's been in kind of meaningless feuds besides her Becky feud, which was great, and she had 2 really great matches against Becky. But then the damage control shit happened, which took up way too much time. And Bayley was facing Bianca like every other week for the title, it felt like. And, you know, I don't know. And they also book Bianca to be like Superwoman. You know, like she'll be fighting 3 people at once and she still wins. So like it doesn't, I don't know, there's something that's just missing there to make her a compelling baby face. The crowd still likes her because they like her gimmick, but her title reign is basically what we fear Cody's title reign is going to be.
Yes. He'll do a little better, I think, but he's very similar. You're right. Those happy guy
he'll have
promos.
Opponents. Right.
Yeah, she's been just left to hang out to do nothing or whatever.
Let me tell you something what's going to happen. I'm an EST of WWE, and that means I'm the fastest, the strongest, and the baddest. And that's what Asuka's going to find out, is that I'm also the toughest. And I am ready for Asuka.
Right. That is about what
that's
she
some
sounds like.
strong words from the champion, Bianca Belair.
Back to you, Cole.
No, fucking Jimmy Smith or whatever the hell his name
my
is.
Randy idea costing Cody, but Randy could cost Roman by RKO, and then on Raw Cody is pissed cause he wanted to win the title all by himself, and Randy RKO's Cody starting a feud while Roman is away until SummerSlam. If you don't like, fuck you.
Randy at one point, when Randy does return, he is going to feud with Cody. What sucks though is that Randy and Matt Riddle aren't going to be a tag team anymore, and I fucking really loved RK Bro, and it's kind of shitty that injuries basically ruined that storyline, and we're not going to be able to see a fucking resolution on it. And, you know, that sucks. But, you know, Randy versus Cody will be an interesting storyline. I don't know if that's going to be able to carry all the way till SummerSlam, but it'll definitely be a good, like, 4 or 5 week program.
Yeah, it'll probably happen after WrestleMania. No,
I guess not.
After WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're...
Everybody... I have to make sure that everybody's, like, alive on the call.
Well, J-Rod was talking. He was talking. Can you not hear him?
Randy.
No, he's like completely muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, so we can hear him, but you're talking over him. It's weird, but so you can't hear J-Rod, but we can hear him. So he was talking after you said that. Anyway, I got to go anyway. So listen, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, keep it hard.
Hey, J-Rod, if you've been talking this whole time, I'm sorry. I can't. Like for some reason, you were.
It's a glitch. It's a glitch. Hit me up on my text me later, Rojas. Thank you, boys. Listen. I will say that I think I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 tonight. I'm giving AEW a 6 out of 10 tonight. It was okay, but again, you know, the Adam Cole's return didn't tickle my pickle too much. You know what I'm saying? But it was nice, a nice little show. It was just scatterbrained too, and we saw a lot of repetitive stuff. the Blackpool Combat Club, which is named that now for what reason, I don't know. And they came down several times and did their thing again. The Outcast women, whatever they are, they did their attack again. It was just repetitive stuff other than, Adam Cole. Guys in Discord should thank you for what the fuck for the dollar, man. We actually got really close. We still could hit it, but we got really close to the goal. 86%. That's not bad, man. 189. Plus the people that signed up on Patreon tonight. Thank you if you signed up on Patreon to become part of the fucking Patreon family, the JCS Army on Patreon. Everybody's on Patreon leaving comments on my videos and my private videos on Patreon, and they're calling each other cocksuckers because that's what we do. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what we're doing. We're doing weird shit on Patreon that's sexual, probably. Thanks to D. Welsh for the 101 bomb as well. Like I said, look at the poll. Check out the poll. We're at 62 votes. Overall, AEW is going to get a positive review tonight for the most part. Thumbs up, I guess. WrestleMania is this weekend. It's going to be a huge weekend here on this channel and on all what I do everywhere. We'll be back on... No, you weren't babbling, Rojas. We love you, bro. We'll be back on the Joe Cronin Show main channel, maybe earlier, but probably Monday is most likely. So this has always happened to me in the past several times. People always have it. There's always something happening to me. The last 12 years, this has happened to me. We've had 4 WrestleManias. So we've had to, basically be live here. You know what I mean? So that's happened on Uncorrupted Nation here before, and Evil Spectrum 3. That's why I made these channels for the most part. So, we're no stranger to this fuckery by YouTube and people. What are you going to do, man? So I appreciate you guys supporting the show like you have been, though, man. Appreciate that. So thank you to D. Welsh dropping 101. Spectral Citizen dropping 20. Good old Tim Drake, baby, the other night, 69. Soundwave 92 for the $40. Thank you. Momagadavi, 316. Louis Urdaneta with the 10. Colonel Stutters and guys in Discord should F. Plus, the Soundwave 92 is always here for the big AEW review. So shout out to Soundwave 92. And make sure you guys, if you're watching tonight or you have Paramount Plus, episode 7 of Star Trek Picard airs tonight. It's going to be a hard one, man. It's going to be a big, long, hard one for Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 7 tonight. Trust me, you want to watch it. Watch episode 1 to 7 if you missed it, because if you're a TNG, Star Trek The Next Generation fan, you will want to watch this season. Trust me. We went over all of AEW several times over, and after a couple hours, it's time to hit the Betty Bye. So let's hit the Betty Bye and get ready for my Star Trek fantasy podcast that will be hitting my Star Trek channel. I think you're gonna jerk off to it. Quite honestly, I think you're gonna get wet. Good night, everybody. We'll see you then. Until then, stay tuned. Listen to this hilariously over the top trailer. Somebody called J.J. Abrams.
Last look before
somebody call him.
Ship. I don't read any life support signs, but honestly, we're too far away, and this system is still malfunctioning. We're flying blind here. Maybe we should stay with the ship just in case. No. Mirren 5 is far enough away. We're barely going to make it there as it is. Staying here any longer could cost us our lives.
Get ready to laugh, baby. Good night, everybody.
I swear I saw something. You really think taking 30 minutes to go back and take a closer look? Coop, we're not going. We're not going back.
They'll have to land on a planet that is heavily populated, but has not developed warp capabilities yet.
We can't go there. It's against the Prime Directive. If we don't, we're dead. Sir, I'm picking up a ship.
We're going down! We must vaporize ourselves, so we're not discovered by the inhabitants of this planet.
Are you serious?
I think I know why we were targeted. The same ship that attacked us has infiltrated this society.
We were on this planet for millennia before this species infested it.
It's going to take Starfleet weeks to figure out where we are.
We have to try to stop them.
You don't understand.
Oh, I was cracking up to that, man. I don't know. Call J.J. Abrams. We'll see you tomorrow. MJF, baby. Probably my favorite thing, but still, not the best promo from him, Maddie. Just wanted to hit you up with that. Good night. $5.15 or $25. All we did at $5.15 or $25. Keep the show alive. The other way to support the show is by becoming a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Yeah, fucking $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. All I need is $5.15 or $25.
Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, whether it's on the app on your phone or your computer or whatever. Over 2,000 hours of bonus content, controversial content you never heard on YouTube, like the Corrupted podcast, my morning podcast, my podcast with my wife, my podcast with Jake and JB and everybody else over the years. There's hundreds of different shows on Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And all we need is $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. All I need is $5.15 or $25 to help us stay alive. $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. All I need is $5.15 or $25. Help me stay alive. $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. Help me stay alive. $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. Keep the show alive. $5.15 or $25. All I need is $5.15 or $25. All I need is $5.15 or $25. Help us stay alive. $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. All I need from you. What are you gonna do? $5.15 or $25. $5.15 or $25. All I need is $5.15 or $25. Keep me alive. Think about signing up right now on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can even sign up for $1, but we really would like you to sign up under the $5, $15, or $25 spot. Plus, we have $50 patrons and the insane $100 a month patrons. If you're $25, you're a producer of the show.